Let's keep this one going because we got FaZe Clan to talk about here. Now we had karrigan step into this team. We know Twister's there now. There's no six-man Olaf, Caldera, Rain, etc. Brokey. For them, it was I don't even know what type of event for them. They're saying they're playing with no pressure, and we were talking about the ultimate honeymoon on last week's episode, I think, Striker. They didn't live up to that reputation. And people saying,
I'm going to call myself out. As far as I remember, I called them to win.
I think you may have said that, yeah. But we were, well, it wouldn't be a joke, but we were really taking some pot shots then, right? How do you feel that they went on debut? Are you just this is another one? We just have to go, yeah, okay, it's too early.
I mean, I guess pretty much. I actually only saw one of the games, and it was the one against Liquid where they got kind of destroyed.
Yeah.
And so, like, my view of them is a little bit skewed just because they really did look terrible there. I don't think they had much of a chance in that game ever since like they switched sides on Mirage essentially. And so it's probably just a wait and see as well. It's like I expected FaZe to do well from the start just because of the history with karrigan and like entering new teams and stuff. He's generally been very capable with making things work very early on, and so that's what my thinking was behind them actually having a chance to win this event. Obviously, didn't work out. Could still be down just to the fact that again, this is like an in-game leadership change. He's coming into basically an entirely new team compared to when he was last there. Like this is basically just one of the same players in Rain, and so in that aspect, I guess I understand why they would have a problem.
Well, now, Alexi, unfortunately, you guys were on the receiving end of FaZe's only win within the group stage in that lower bracket match. Did it feel like you were going up against a karrigan team? Like, could you tell that it was karrigan's in-game leadership style? Or...
Yeah, for sure. It looked completely the same as mousesports. Like, as soon as I saw what happened on the server, and when I watched the one game they played or some series they played, it just completely looked like I'm playing against mousesports, kind of.
Okay.
So I feel like he already tried to make the adjustments there, or at least the similarity of strats.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt like that at least, and I think he will get his system or the way they think if they already started playing like so. I think it's not going to take a long while for them to already be playing like he wants.
Now, I want to give you a little bit of an experiment here. It's obviously a hypothetical situation, but let's put you in karrigan shoes for a second. You had the choice of the two teams, right? You could have stayed with Mouse, Acor, BMS, Rops, Frozen, and yourself, or you could have gone to FaZe with Rain, Twist, Cold, and Brokey. Which one would you have done?
I don't know. It's hard to say because there must be I would want to say mousesports because of Acor, like being a young guy, having Robs, but it just feels weird that why would he make the change then? So
Yeah.
it's swaying me to FaZe then.
Okay.
Because of why would karrigan change, kinda? So there must be something, I guess, wrong in mousesports for him to change, or did he just wanna change because he was such a long time in mousesports? That's something I'm, guessing. So gonna sound dumb when I say again that I can't answer the question, but
what if I put it this way? If the team was karrigan, Acor, BMS, Rops, Frozen, and at the same time there was two karrigans,
okay.
and Rain, Twist, Cold, and Brokey existed at the same time with
Okay.
karrigan there, which one do you think is going to get a trophy first?
I would want to say the FaZe team, because if Twists, let's say he's playing like he did against us, like insta-killing too,
Yeah.
if he can keep that up, and I think Colt Serra might find his older version because of not being the leader, of just trying to focus on his own game only. And Brokey is still kind of like an Acor where both are really young, both are really talented. So I just feel like maybe karrigan, because of the experience some of the FaZe players had, so Cold Serra, Twists, Rain, is they understand him and they understand the game and everything. Obviously, I'm not undermining the other players. All I'm just saying is I think they would win a trophy earlier.
Okay.
But who knows? Like in the long run, it's always hard to say. But I feel like karrigan with this FaZe roster can do sick.
It's very interesting right now with all the international teams, right, Striker? We have so many of them, and this is the talking point that you and I have had a lot on the show, right? But if I just list off some of these names right now that are competing in this space with international teams, we have Complexity. We obviously have OG. We're just talking about Mouse Sports. We have FaZe. We have FPX. We have Cloud9. Like, there's some heavy hitters in a lot of these teams, and some of these changes, right? Like, obviously, Chris J's left. Now he's in FPX. It kind of feels like he fits in there, stepping into Crystal's role. Obviously, in-game leadership, something that's new for him. But all of these teams seem like they can be threatening. Is this the most international teams we have that feel like they can compete for top 10 slots? Do you think we're reaching peak international Counter-Strike squads, or we still got a while to go?
The only problem I see is that we don't have any, and none of them actually have like a top one potential at this point. That's kind of like the only thing that I'm looking at, right? Not for no particular reason, of course. Totally isn't
definitely
because
not
of
the communication, is it?
Yeah, definitely not because of the bet that I have going on against you. But that's the only thing that I see. But yeah, in general,
I forgot G2.
Yeah, I guess you can count them in as well.
Yeah. Well, same shit, same situation. It's weird. It's a really weird spot that we're finding ourselves in now with all these international teams, because not only they've just sprung up, right? It's been over the years, and then even some teams have transitioned. But do you think that that's like, Alexi? Obviously, you're in an international team, so your answer's probably going to be leaning on the side of you think that international teams can be the best in the world. But do you notice when you're calling from in English now to when you were doing it with Ents that things still can be lacking in terms of stuff being picked up by your teammates, or maybe not being able to convey it as quickly as you could in Finnish?
Yes, for sure. Not, I guess. Well, yeah, it is quicker, but it's also the understanding of. It's hard to explain, but let's say in Finnish you would say a word, but you would have like a different intonation. It might instantly tell the other guy that you're not in a hurry, or you have this in control, or there's many examples, right? But I guess it's still a bit over a year playing for an international team, so I guess at one point it will come to me that it feels completely weird to play in a Finnish lineup, but I'm playing FaZe so much with my real life friends and in Finnish that it just feels a bit more chill, I kind of feel like you have to work more to play in English, whereas in Finnish it's just effortless, right?
Yeah.
So there is
it's
that,
second nature.
but yeah, exactly. But then you can imagine a guy like karrigan, because we just spoke about him. He's been playing international teams for such a long time, so I guess he's already feeling that is just as effortless, right? So there is something, like some fine details, why it would be better, at least communication wise, to be 5 same nationality, but there are other parts, and one of them as well is the fact that let's say that you are an international team, and let's say there is, you kind of have it in the back of your head that there are more people that could replace you,
Sure.
So that might make you have a more drive to prove yourself and to have your spot, So I guess there is also that one, and I think it's maybe easier because of that to run international teams, because there is a lot of options, right?
Sure. Do you think you'll ever return to in-game leading a Finnish team at any point? Is that something you want to do?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah?
It'll happen one point, I'm pretty sure. But you never know. I could say this and play on international team for the rest of my career, but I guess it's something everyone has it in them, where they kind of want to have their team on the map. And now that ENS went to being EU, there is Havu anymore, and I'm not sure if they're even at the top 30 anymore. So it's like you want to be that guy who comes up one day and puts your nation on the map again, right?
Sure.
So there is always that small thing that drives you, just as you like seeing an Aussie team, at the top feels different.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird, isn't it? Right? Like we're all
Yeah.
doing the same thing. We're all Counter-Strike players, but there's some weird pride. I guess it's like when you have that, it's because you can resonate with what people go through from where you're from to get
Yeah,
to where they
yeah,
are, right?
yeah.
That must be the biggest draw for all of us.